Oh, look at that. For anybody who has done any spiritual counseling with me, you have heard me and have asked you to write these words down on a piece of paper and put it on your refrigerator. It's a standard something that I share because it brought me freedom. Those words actually came to me from a former partner of mine, Jimmy Wiemeyer, who was a congregant here and a board member. And he practiced those words when he was in a very difficult situation with his son. And they were, what do you call it? Estranged, right? And the only time he heard from him was when he needed something. His son needed something. And those words helped him get through some very, very difficult years. And witnessing how that relationship changed, I watched that. And I'm like, I'm hooking on to those words. I'm hooking on to that because there's something way deeper in those three words. So allow surrender without expectations. It's a concept that it really is frequently used in spiritual and self-help personal growth context. It involves letting go of attempts to control the outcome. Now, has anybody here ever tried to control the outcome of anything in your life? Right? Be honest. Come on, you bunch of fibbers out there. If you're breathing, you've wanted to control some outcomes, right? It's trusting. It is about letting go of those attempts to control and trust a greater plan or force. This is not easy, is it? No. That's this whole concept. The surrender is not about giving up, but about releasing ego's need for control and the attachments to specific results or timelines, right? We had to surrender a lot yesterday to timelines because a lot of people don't adhere to timelines, like what time you should be here to help set up or whatever, right? And we joke about it and call, well, they're on unity time, right? Right. But it's you surrender, because who ends up in hell? Me, right? The person who's running behind for whatever reason, they're coming in to help, right? We're the ones going, right? So allow surrender without expectations. And you all know that every time I name a title, that the universe seems to bring me more of what I'm supposed to talk about today. Many of you know that my husband, we bought a 1989 sailboat, and it is docked in Michigan. Well, yes, it's docked in Michigan, but it's on Lake Huron. Let's show that mitten. Does everybody, now this is Kathy's drawing at 11 o'clock last night. So forgive me, Joe, from Michigan. I did the best I could. All right, everybody knows Michigan is a thumb, right? It's a mitten. Okay, so I tried to draw a mitten. All right, so do you see Detroit? And you see where I wrote start? That's where we bought the sailboat. Now, it's a larger sailboat, so you don't move the sailboat. The only way you can move it is through water. So he has to get it from follow the green lines. He's got to go all the way over to Lake Michigan down to Manistee. Okay? Now, that he deduces that's probably going to take him about 12 days to sail. I left him at that starting point May 27th. As of last night, he was just where that dot is. The next dot, go around the thumb, and you see a dot? Okay, that was last night. Now, I can tell you that ever since he's left, I have 2 dogs that tend to run away. I have 2 dogs that continue to bring me dead animals because they think it's a prize and they want to leave it at the front door. But as soon as I open the front door, they grab it and run and then bring it back. One was a raccoon. This on Wednesday, it was a dead chicken. Yeah. Welcome to living to 14 acres out in Coleraine Township. I have 4.5 hours of grass to mow. The mowers are breaking down. I got a push mower. It breaks down. Now I'm on Facebook Marketplace to try and buy. I could just go on with what has happened since I left him at that starting point. And I have more than a full-time job. And I'm now bringing dogs to work with me because they're in my office because I can't trust them. I shouldn't say that. I can't trust one. I got a 3-year-old that thinks Dad's gone. Woo! 3 hours. Took him to the vet. I'm like, chip him, please, because he just won't stay. He's having fun. Okay. So every night I'm able to talk to Michael. Thank God things have improved. So he's been able to check in with me. He doesn't know this boat. I could go for 20 minutes just on this whole thing with the tenseness for him. He's a very accomplished solo sailor, but not on this size boat. And if you know anything about sailing, if the weather's not good, your boat ain't moving. And even if you got a motor, it moves slow. So he's had bad weather before. When I got to him, it was bad. And bad weather, and then he's I'm going to use the word, stuck at a port because the weather is bad or there's no slips, or the day that he pulls into a slip, they decided to dredge. And so now he can't fit. So now he's anchoring out in the middle of the water, and it's in a storms. And so it's just been a lot. Now, but how do I talk to him when he calls? You will not believe what the dogs are doing. I'm having to shovel dead animals into a garbage can, right? I don't say, are you okay? Because he called. I know he's okay, right? Anybody had a child that was late and you're like worried. And then as soon as they call, you go, where in the heck have you been? Why didn't you call? Right? That's what I'm doing to him every single day. And then now he's FaceTiming. And I'm like, please don't FaceTime me. Right? Yes. So now every day he's telling me it's going to be longer. Last night, we were projecting that he would be in Manistee by somewhere around June 13th, 14th, 15th. Last night, he informs me it might be looking more like June 21st or 23rd. And I'm like, I'm trying to get home for our anniversary on the 25th. And I'm like, I've surrendered to dates. We don't celebrate Christmas on Christmas, it's no big deal. We'll celebrate it whenever, right? I've just given that concept up. I've surrendered to that type of stuff. But since May 27th, I have been having to practice surrender without expectations. But I keep expecting. See, I'm going to get to that point. But I wanted to just share with you my little drawing and how the universe says, well, let's give Kathy some personal information to share about her talk today. Okay, so allow. I'm going to break it down in those 3 parts. Allow means stopping the battle against reality and accepting things as they are. Now, you're hearing my story, so this will help you relate, but think about in your own life. You all have situations, might not be a sailboat being stuck in Lake Michigan or Lake Huron. It's somewhere else in your life that you are being called to either keep trying to push against it or allow it. Allow it. It means releasing the belief that I could possibly have control on how things should be. You know that's one of the three words I wish we'd take out of the English language. Should, could, and would. So I'm shoulding on it. You should be home by June 13th. You should. That boat should. The weather should. What should, right? Myrtle Fillmore says, let's go to that next one there. There should be one before that says allow people. There we go. Allow people to have their moods and allow those moods to have nothing to do with you. Michael and I have had to practice that a lot. He's had to allow me to have my moods and somehow stay in the stream of love, which he has done every single day. I probably would not have been as graceful, honestly. I wouldn't have, because every day he's hearing, now do you know what they've done? The mower broke down. I can't get anybody to help me. Oh, it was just, I'm pathetic. Myrtle Fillmore says, we are here to unfold the divine idea of life, not to force it. When we allow life, we are not passive. You don't become a rug that people walk over. See, sometimes people think that this allow and surrender thing is like, oh, what am I just supposed to just let everybody just run all over me? Anybody ever felt like that? Where you feel like you're a doormat and everybody's just walking? No, that's not what it means. You've got to keep your boundaries. Big word, people. That's another thing I make people write down on pieces of paper if you counsel with me. Boundaries. And hold your boundaries, but still allow and surrender. But again, knowing it doesn't make me a rug where people are going to walk on me. There's a story about a river and a rock. And this river was once very, very proud of her strength. She flowed fast and she cut her own course, shaping valleys and carving plains and paths. And one day she came across this large rock blocking her way. And she tried to push through it. She rushed harder, faster, trying to break that rock down. But the more she pushed, the more turbulent and the muddy the waters got. Exhausted, the river finally stopped struggling and simply flowed around the rock. In that moment, she realized she didn't need to remove the obstacle. She only needed to surrender to the path that was already there. And so it is with us, isn't it? Sometimes our resistance keeps us from seeing the very route that's being prepared. Think about this, people. Think about with an illness. Think about when someone you love makes their transition. Think about some dangerous situations you may have found yourself in. And you keep trying to push, when there is a whole new something waiting for you. But we're so busy pushing and trying to make it happen that we don't see the spiritual path that is waiting for us. This surrender part, this kind of all goes along with, the allow and surrender to me are kind of tied together. Again, surrender doesn't mean you're weak. It means you are wise. Surrender doesn't mean you are weak. It means you are wise. I love that song, The Older I Get, right? The wiser we get. Oh, surrender is not giving up. It is giving it over. Surrender is not giving up. It's giving it over to the wisdom of spirit, to the wisdom of God, to the wisdom of good. Let's show that next slide there. This is Joseph Campbell. We must be willing to let go of the life we have planned. What? So as to accept the life that is waiting for us. Letting go of my plan and finding that the life that is waiting for me will show up. There's the story of the bamboo. I mean, everybody knows about bamboo, right? In the wind, bamboo is strong. Why? Why is it a strong wood? It bends. No wind can take it down. It can withstand the wind. It surrenders to the wind and survives. Our spiritual strength lies not in rigid resistance, but in graceful surrender. I said this a week ago, we try to hold on to that life that we thought we should be living. All the while, there's this beautiful life waiting, a new way of being, a new way. I mean, I look at some of you that are dealing with some challenges here, and that life that you used to have has changed dramatically. And I remember Pat Barker from New Thought Unity said to me, when a relationship of like 8 years had broken up and I was just bereft, and she said, you will never have that life again. The more you can start to embrace a new way of being, the more at peace you will be. Instead of having this melancholy feeling that, why couldn't I have that? I want that again. I want that kind of love again. And instead of releasing and letting go, allowing, surrendering to it, whatever that is. In John 5:30, it says, I of myself can do nothing. I seek not my own will, but thy will be done. Jesus, in saying that, is aligning himself with divine flow, just like Myrtle Fillmore was saying. Now, here's the big part. Allow, surrender, without expectations. Come on. We all have expectations. I have expectations every moment of every day, I think, right? I expect. Now, I'm just saying that I expected Michael to be home June 13th. Okay, as he's traveled along the mitten, then I say I expect him to be home by June 15th. 2 days later, June 16th or 17th. Who is in hell? Not Michael. He's in his own hell trying to get the boat to move, right? And he's freezing. It's cold up there. It's not sun. It's rain, cold. It's not pleasant. This is not I'm sailing, right? It's like, I'm trying, right? So he had his expectations. But guess who handles it so much better than me? He does. Oh, it just drives me crazy sometimes. Let go of attachment of outcomes and timelines. And when you detach from the result and allow life to unfold naturally. Let's look at this. I love this one. By William Shakespeare, expectation is the root of all heartache. Isn't that the truth? I go to a hospital visit yesterday to see Jim, who is one of our special needs people who walks with a walker, right? And he has congestive heart failure. And I went to see him, but I'm driving there and I have an expectation of seeing him. when I get a text from Cindy, one of his caregivers, and she says, he just crashed an hour ago. But he's looking forward to seeing you. I said, are you sure I should still come? So my expectation changed in a moment, didn't it? Expectations change. You know, how is it? Life turns on a dime. I expect these kids at school to like me. I expect my neighbors to be friendly to me. I expect that you should be voting the way I vote. I expect. I expect people to be on time. I expect people to say they're going to be there when they say they're going to be there. Who's in hell? And that's what I'm trying to get you to look at here. That nobody can put us in hell. We do it ourselves. All by ourselves. And I love where Unity says, hell is not so much a place. Heaven and hell are not so much a place. They are states of consciousness. And we get to choose heaven or hell every minute of the day. Think about that, people. That's how powerful you are. You get to choose. Every moment, you get to choose whether you want to be in heaven or hell. And it's by the power of our thinking. I watched my daughter go through some stuff. You know about her working with people experiencing homelessness and a board that doesn't get it and teachers that don't get it. And I watch her show up, and her mantra lately has been, good always wins. Have I got that right? She says it, good always wins. Hang in there. Good will always win. The river kept trying to force that rock to change. But when it finally allowed and surrendered, it flowed exactly how it was meant to flow. And that's the truth for us. And I'm telling you, I'm just a living example. When we release expectations, we become present to what is. Ron, you told me yesterday, everything you're going through is making you more aware of staying in the present moment. Everything. And that's the truth for all of us, if we choose. Let's go to that next one. Peace begins when expectation ends. Oh, yeah. In Matthew 6:34, it says, take no thought for tomorrow. What? Are you kidding? Take no thought for tomorrow. Jesus is reminding us to let go of expectations and come back to the now. Back to the now. Every freaking day, Michael is reminding me of this. Just stay in the moment. I'm doing the best I can. I'm allowing, surrendering, and trusting. And I'm much more at peace today after I drew that mitten last night at 11 o'clock. I don't know why, but seeing that visual helped me to realize how far he's trying to get the boat to where it's going to be permanently. And we knew it was going to be tough, but I didn't know it was going to be like this. I'm just telling you. So how do we do this? Let's go to that next screen, because I want to leave you with, these are all good concepts, aren't they? What I'm saying today. I see all of you, many of you nodding. You're getting what I'm saying. You understand it. You can relate. It's not old news, right? But how do you do it? And I told you last week in the talk, through denials and affirmations. They are tools used to address what? Negative beliefs and cultivate a more positive mindset. Denials release limiting beliefs. Affirmations are positive statements that replace them. In essence, denials acknowledge and dispel negative thoughts, and affirmations introduce desired positive ones. Blah, 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 blah. I know you're all like, hurry up, get her. Okay, I get it. All right, so here comes Kathy's School for Dummies on Denials and Affirmation. Okay, I love the short book. The short book is Myrtle Fillmore, most of you know, healed herself of tuberculosis through the power of denials and affirmation. She healed herself by saying, affirming, I am a perfect child of God. The denial is, therefore, I cannot inherit sickness. I am a perfect child of God. That's an affirmation. The denial is, therefore, I cannot inherit sickness. Okay? Now, Kathy's favorite movie, everybody know what it is? Wizard of Oz. Okay? Glenda the good witch. There's the bad witch. Be gone with you. You have no power over me. So when somebody comes to me and they are dealing with a diagnosis or they are dealing with a situation and they don't know how to handle it, I say, go to the Wizard of Oz and say to that, the diagnosis, be gone with you. You have no power over me. I am a perfect child of God. Or I am healthy. I am loved. If you're struggling with a relationship and you're feeling bad about yourself and this relationship is making you feel bad, you want to say they're making me feel bad. That's not true, people. Sorry, but it's not. Nobody can make you feel bad. You can allow. But I'm just saying. Then you have to go to these denials and affirmations. And it's not just the affirmation, people. I am love. I am light. I am good. No, you've got to deny the feeling of whatever it is that you're trying to cast off, that it has no power over me, and that I am love. I am perfect. I am enough. I am perfect just the way I am. Looking at these young people because you get berated with this on social media. You're constantly being told, if you're not this, then I don't want to. And if you'll be this, then I'll be your friend. You know, I'm ghosting you because I don't like the way you wear your hair. Whatever. I'm just saying this is important that our young people deal with this, but we deal with it too. No matter how old we get, we're always dealing with somebody making, as Sandy and I said in class, the judgment. How quick we are to judge. I got to stop. My goodness. Did I give you enough examples to understand denials and affirmations for today? I could do a whole class on that one. But there is a song by Karen Drucker, and we can't play it because Facebook will shut us down. But it's, I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am willing and closer every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. Anybody help me here? I let the Spirit be my guide. It's for, I just can't, I'm just going to go to the first line. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am willing and closer every day. Namaste. That Christ's presence in me, that allowing, surrendering without expectations in me, honors and sees that willingness and that surrendering. Christ's presence in each and every single one of you. Namaste.